Hello, Comet people, and welcome to the implementation and testing presentations for my project, which is called the Virtual Earthwatch Expedition. A bit about this module. Earthwatch is an international charitable organization with the mission to engage people worldwide in environmental, scientific, field research, and education to promote the understanding of a sustainable environment. By directly supporting the field research and educating thousands of people, Earthwatch has made a significant contribution to achieving a sustainable environment over the past 35 years. Climate Change and Caterpillar Expedition is a long-term research project funded by the NIH and Earthwatch. The principal investigator is Dr. Lee Dyer. He's originally from Tulane and is just now recently at University of Nevada in Reno. He and his research group are involved in researching caterpillars in the Western Hemisphere. His collaborators range from several places in North America, Central America, Costa Rica, Ecuador, Brazil, and Argentina. Also Canada, I forgot to mention. So he has collaborators all through the Western Hemisphere. Each year, Earthwatch brings together hundreds of people from the general public to participate in this field research, collecting caterpillars, and they publish lots of papers and do some really important work. As a member of the Earthwatch team, here's our team right here. Dr. Dyer's 2001 expedition at Sage Hen, which is in Truckee. It's just about an hour out of Reno, near Lake Tahoe. I discovered that there were many aspects of the research that could use this type of module. Although Earthwatch sends printed expedition briefings and support material out to the team members prior to their field experience when they actually land in that area, there are a number of surprises, and can be a fairly steep learning curve for some of the more complex tasks in specimen gathering and the taxonomy of identifying these caterpillars, because there are a large number of families of caterpillars and about 80 to 100 different species. So it's really important that they identify them correctly, and the better that these team members do their job, the better the research. So Earthwatch asks you to go to these briefings and let's see here, example of the briefing. Yeah, so they send you out this briefing and they say read it and also look at some of the publications and familiarize yourself with the Sage Hen, but this, I believe, doesn't go quite far enough, and so that's why this module was created as a companion to the printed expedition briefing and the content that is already sent out by Earthwatch. So next I'm going to give you an idea of the content that's on the module. Here's the home page, and there's a welcome, and there's rollovers here of backgrounds of the people that you're going to be involved with on this research project. And there's some direction given by me, and there's a great picture of me right here. There's a teacher resource page with there are or there will be learn how to use this module, expedition briefing, community action plan. It's kind of an extension of it, how teachers would use this project themselves in the future. Then there's the goals and so forth. That's more related to what I'm doing right here. There's an Android application that I was motivated to build. There are still some bugs in it, but if you looking at this video, if you want to capture it right now, you can download it. There is a teacher blog, and as a member of the Earthwatch teacher fellowship team, I was on a grant here. You're expected to produce a blog and or some type of module online to talk about what you've done, and when you bring home the content, bring home this learning to your classroom. Part of it is a blog, so there's an example here for teachers, and then there's a number of links here that will grow before it gets finished. And along the side here we have essentially video content. So the video content, it follows the progression, the timeline of the entire expedition. This is the opening lecture by Dr. Dyer, and of course there is
got my PhD in 1995.
There's audio here, and he's showing his PowerPoint, and that PowerPoint is right here. And this video has some notes created by me that essentially goes over the content. This can be downloaded and printed out, and all of the videos that you'll see, there's 8 of them, and they have the same thing. And some of them now also have quizzes that go along with it, and the quizzes are just there to kind of reinforce the content. They're not terribly challenging, but I want the users to know that they know what they know and they can have some confidence in it. So after that, there's a lecture about the caterpillars of the order Lepidoptera, and this goes on for about half an hour or so. And it's edited through. The most important points are on there, and again, there's a PowerPoint and there's notes. There's some live footage that I've taken from the team collecting junipers. So what you get to see here is the how the caterpillars are collected exactly, what kind of terrain you're on. So you really get to experience firsthand. And also the scientists are talking about the caterpillars themselves. They're identifying for the team, so you get an idea of how they're identified in the field and how they're packaged in the field to be brought back to the laboratory. Then the team is at the UNR laboratory of Dr. Dyer, and you'll see them doing a number of different things with the chemistry involved in this, and the taxonomy for pinning adult moths. It's another 20-minute video. There's a field laboratory video, and it'll come up in a second here, and that's showing the scientists telling the group exactly what needs to be done to correctly handle the caterpillars once they've been collected and they're reared out to their adults, and there's observations and photography and data that has to be collected and put into a database. So they're doing that. There's moth observations at night, and of course these are all accompanied with audio. The scientists are talking about the what's happening, and they're identifying, talking about the life cycle and so forth. And then finally there's a debriefing at the end of Dr. Dyer wraps up the entire expedition for the team and talks about how the data is going to be used and the big questions that are going to be answered, or how this data will go to answering some of the big questions that his research is involved in. So next we're going to talk about the purpose of the module. The overall goal of the module is to improve the expedition participants' preparation for the field research, to assist the future teacher, team members, and the general public members, and improve their understanding of what the experience is going to be like, and the knowledge of the content before they get out there. So if they're better at identifying caterpillars, if they already know what they're going to experience, if they know how to do the real specific things, particularly to this research, that it'll really help the scientists and help them have a better experience. And it also will aid the decision making of the potential candidate to do this, because this can be difficult. There's very rough terrain. You can fall down and scrape yourself up like I did pretty bad on the side of a mountain. You can not want to handle these insects and their poop like we do. So some people are better off knowing that they don't want to do this, and the video gives you a really good idea of what you're going to run into. The objectives of this module. Let me stop this and go back to the home slide here. Okay, but in the module, the learner will be able to label a caterpillar collection bag with the correct data, to visually identify 5 of the most common families of caterpillars with accuracy of 80%. They'll be able to verbally explain the life cycle of the common caterpillar, and within that research area, they'll follow the safety concerns of visitors in the Sage Hen Research Laboratory. There's a number of really important safety concerns they have to know. Next, they'll correctly perform the caterpillar handling for the data collection within the field laboratory. Let me stop this again. They'll perform correct methods of collecting caterpillars from different species of plants, and they'll complete quizzes on each of the content slides, the film slides, let's say 90% accuracy. The delivery method, of course, is this Adobe Captivate output. It's Flash. Basically, it's a Flash video website. And now let's talk about the test itself. The pilot testers, beta test users that I asked to participate in this. Again, the beta test users were sent an email link and all the content that's here on this self-contained module. I sent this out to 13 people. There were the 9 participants in my research team. There were 3 scientists and one of the Earthwatch representatives that was my liaison for this. And basically, I sent them some questions along with this, and I interviewed those who were available. What I asked them were the goals clearly stated? Was it easy to download? Appropriate material? Was it a valuable type of material prior to going on this expedition? Was it easy to follow and understand? Was the delivery method appropriate? The learners themselves, like I just mentioned, there were 9 members of the team, 3 members of the researchers themselves from the Dyer lab, and Dyer himself, plus Earthwatch. And unfortunately, only 5 of the people got back to me. They're understandably busy and teachers and getting ready like I am too. So my feedback was very, very low on testing, and I need to do more before I conclude this. Anyway, I asked the people in the beta test to watch just the first expedition brief video, because it is about 45 minutes long, skim through the notes, and answer the short quiz. And I said that going any further than that would be optional. They did. Let me stop. Testers were asked if the questions matched the content and if they felt confident in answering the questions, and if they felt prepared. Some of the observations that I got back was some of the testers found that the download speed for the embedded video was very slow, long, and they would lose interest, and it just took 20, 30 minutes for it to download. Some testers found that the length of the lecture, Dr. Dyer's lectures were too long. He kind of went off track, and they lost interest there. Some testers found that the short quizzes were they were successful with the short quizzes, and they did feel confident. The 3 testers said they were able to download the Android application, but all of them found that there were bugs, and I need to go back and fix that. All testers stated that there was far more material than the tests required. All testers stated that the experience was far more, nope, sorry, I just said that. One tester suggested creating a how-to guide for the site, and that's in the works. So I guess you call this a level 1 for Kirkpatrick evaluation. I asked essentially, did they find it motivating? Did they find it engaging? Did they find it that it was useful? Did they like it? I'm kind of concerned that they weren't sparing my feelings, and because of my prior relationship with them, they weren't as critical as I could have been. So I'm concerned about some of the feedback here. As myself as a beta test user, I think there's a lot more concern here. I'm concerned as a beta test user that there's just too much here, and because there's too much content, I've gone a mile wide and an inch deep, and I'm not really getting all of I want in the learning process for the learner. Anyway, based on my results, I'm going to I put all the video actually on the teacher resource page. I have this all in video now, and I'm going to edit to smaller chunks in video eventually, but maybe not all the videos before the final turn-in of this project. This kind of extends beyond that, since I'm doing this for Earthwatch as well. So let's see, anything else? The how-to for this is like the instructor is also on the way. It's not available for the beta testers. Anyway, that pretty much wraps it up for this presentation, and thank you very much for listening.